Good day, everyone, and welcome back for another edition of DSN Classic Conversation. Curt Ashcraft here with you, and today we are welcomed by none other than Denison head baseball coach and author and extraordinaire, Mike Deegan. How are we doing today, Coach?
Appreciate you having me on, Curt. I'm doing real well.
Good to hear. I know it's been a less than normal fall for everyone here on campus, but what has it been like for your team so far, Mike?
Just like everyone else, I mean, there's been some obstacles and things, but overall, the way Denison's handled the pandemic, and for the most part, we're healthy and happy, and now we're able to get out and scrimmage a little bit. So we really like our group. We have a great group. They're working really hard, and I don't say that easily. That's usually tough for me to say, but we really have enjoyed this group. They're practicing really well. They're training really well, and we're just excited.
Well, I am assuming you're going to have an exciting team here in the 2021 season, hopefully, but we're going to go back in time a little bit, back to the 2019 season when you had a really exciting team going into the NCAC Tournament Championship game where you took down Wooster 7-5 and captured the first conference championship in program history, which I was lucky enough to be on the broadcast for that entire tournament for you guys, Mike, and I can easily say it is one of the best sports memories that I've been a part of for sure.
Yeah, it was a great run. It was a great run that had some peaks and valleys, including getting, beat pretty soundly by Wooster in game 2 of the tournament, and then be able to bounce back and overcome. It was a special group for sure.
Well, as we set the stage for everyone, we're going to just go back to that moment on May 11th, 2019. You're currently trailing the Scots 1-0 as you enter the bottom of the first inning. At this point, you got one of the best offenses in the country coming up to the plate. Where's your mindset at this point?
Well, I think we're a little, honestly, we're a little frustrated by the top of the first. With one out, Sturzman hits a triple. One of the really good players gets a triple. Then we get their All-American to pop up. So we got 2 outs, and they attempt to steal home. John, in hindsight, does a great job, speeds up his delivery, stays within the rules, but a balk was called. And the balk forced a run in. Next pitch, I believe, we get the guy to fly out, and we should have been out of the inning with no runs. So we go into the bottom of the first chasing a run. And like you said, we had a very dynamic offense led by the 2 guys at the top that were going to be coming up with Max Lawn and Grady Payne. Max right away goes for a 9-pitch at bat, which results in a strikeout. But we really felt like we had done some damage, even though he got out. First pitch of the next at bat, Grady Payne singles. And that brings up our 3, 4, 5 guys that were great all year: Robinson, Crescendo, and McCullough.
Well, we're just going to go right back to that moment, Mike. We're going to press play, and here we go. Back to May 11th, 2019, the NCAC Baseball Tournament Championship game. Like you said, Ty Robinson at the plate. You got a runner at first, and Ty Robinson doing what Ty Robinson does, and that's extra bases.
Yeah, Ty had a great year. More of a line drive swing. It was a very offensive day. The wind was blowing out, but Ty hit that thing on a line. If he catches that thing and gets in the air a little bit more, it's going to roll over. And I'd be lying if we weren't hoping that would go over. Hit the top of the fence, and we get second, third, which, with Will Crescendo coming up, guy that's leading the nation in the RBIs, or was maybe second in the nation in RBIs, is coming up. He gets 2 strikes on him here. You can see he's spread out, and he's just trying to get the ball in play, and he does. Our approach with 2 strikes is we don't want to be early. And even though he's early there, he's early on a breaking ball. So that is kind of what we want to be. On a fastball, we probably want to take that thing backside. But on a breaking ball, he was a little bit out in front, but had enough on it to hook it over the third baseman's head, get us a double, which allowed us to get 2 runs and win that first inning.
You have 2-1 now, and that brings up Max Lawn at the plate with a runner at second. And Max, such an amazing 2019 season, and here he is with a single to short.
Yeah, this was a big play. So this is a pivotal play. Max gets the ball in play. They're on an 0-2 count. And it's probably, it's a 50-50 ball. They probably want that out to be recorded. But Max applying pressure, getting up the line, and getting the ball in play sets the stage for us now to have first and third with Grady Payne coming up. And with Grady, we're thinking, should we try to do a first and third offense? But we let him swing away, and we got the result. Hits this thing high. And this didn't lead by much. Their right fielder is a special athlete, and he was at the wall kind of staring that thing down, and Grady got just enough to get it over, and that's the pivotal swing of the game. A 2-1 lead is one thing, a 5-1 lead is another.
Right.
And, big shot. Will probably go down in history as one of the bigger home runs in Denison school history. So unbelievable job by Grady there.
Well, this is just going to end up taking us into the fourth and the fifth innings with a guy that was also electric on the hill, and that's John Troll. He had an amazing 2019 season as it was, but once he got into the tournament, Mike, he was otherworldly. He was one of the best pitchers in the country during that stretch. And even once you got into the NCAA tournament, he was impressive, as always. But what was it about him during this tournament that just made him so special?
I guess you nailed it. I mean, but this is a guy that was a career middle reliever, and for 3 3/4 of his career. And the game against Allegheny, game 1, I mean, we can't forget that. He comes in, and we're chasing runs against the pitcher who was conference pitcher of the year, and I think will be a pro, the kid from Allegheny. And John comes in and quiets him there for 4 2/3. Then he comes out on 2 days rest and goes 5 innings in the championship game. But the biggest thing there, I think, is credit to Coach Romick and John for making the adjustment. But they identified that he's more of a 2-pitch guy. He's a fastball slider guy, and it should be I should say it the other way. He's a slider fastball. So we got away from trying to establish the fastball or whatever. We just started throwing the slider heavy. Coach Rome pointed that out, and that really was the turning point in John's career. So if you look, I mean, he's going to be probably like a 60% slider guy. And then he rolled that same effort, that same energy into starting in the regional opener and went 9 innings in a scoreless game. In a shutout against the Roach, who was a really good offensive team. But, John made some adjustments. Coach Romick saw some things. And, together they were just electric and lights out for that last part of the season.
Well, your starting pitching was electric. Your offense was electric. That takes us to the top of the 9th. After Wooster scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th, you enter the top of the 9th with a 7-5 advantage. You bring Danny Brackman in the 8th. He gets he does a great job there in the 8th. Comes back in the 9th. And where is your level of comfort with this all NCAC first teamer in such a crucial moment?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the momentum had completely shifted to the Wooster dugout. I mean, we were up 7-2. They throw 3 on us in the 8th. They hit Henry Hack a little bit. We brought Danny in. Danny found some barrels there early in that 8th inning before settling down and getting a few big strikeouts and getting us out that inning. But it's 7-5 now. Danny's our best. He had been our best all year. And you go to him in that situation knowing that he is going to make the other team beat him. He's going to make them put the ball in play and get things going. So, here we're kind of in a situation now. We got 1 out and a runner on first with probably the most toughest competitor in the league in Sturzma up. And so we're not in a great spot right now with Harwood, the All-American, on deck. But Danny gets out in front. He's able to get him started with, I think, a changeup or a slider, and then he keeps attacking. Next pitch he'll get to a fastball and beat him a little bit where he has to foul it off. And so, we felt really good, but it was, I would be lying if I wouldn't say it was a little bit nerve-wracking. We had some guys up in the pen as well, looking for matchups as we move forward.
Well, such a big moment. I can still remember my heart in my throat at this point, and when Brackman hit that pitch on the inside corner, and now he continues to stay ahead. Where are you at right now with all this? Are you still have complete trust in your senior pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, the odds swing in your favor when you're ahead in the count, and we were, and that's going to allow him to get to his best pitches. The slider and the changeup. The changeup being his best pitch. And so we knew that here, we could get in a position where we could hopefully get Sturzman to be aggressive and roll over something. And he's a great runner, but we were able to complete that double play with Max and Rouge, and it led to the celebration.
6-4-3, just the way you wrote it up, right, Coach?
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't sweating at all.
Look, as you go back and watch this moment, I still remember smiling from ear to ear as this is going on. As you go back and watch this, as your team is, just celebrating on the field, is, what are you thinking right now? What were you thinking back then? Was it relief? Is it pure joy? Where were you at?
I think it's like any human emotion. I mean, it's complex. You're excited, you're relieved. There's a level of that obviously is in there. You have great empathy for your opponent because you do this long enough, what it's like to be on the other side. So, you probably see me there kind of telling our guys to stop celebrating, go shake hands and So you have all these things going on, and in addition, you're also thinking that we're 4 days away from playing in a regional, and we're going to be the number 1 seed, and we got to get ourselves ready for that. So all those thoughts. It's finals week for our kids, so you have all those things going on. But there is a level of satisfaction there, and excitement knowing that we were able to get over the hump and win a conference championship.
You look back on this 2019 season, and it started just with so much pain and the loss of Sean Bonner, and then to move forward to this moment where it was just nothing but smiles and happiness and joy. Take us through that 2019 season, where with starting with so much pain and now with so much joy at this moment. Where were you at during all of that?
Yeah, it's you can never, a game can never take away the pain of the loss of someone you love and someone you care about, and with Sean's passing, it was just such a tough time that impacted all of us, and it continues to impact all of us.
Yeah.
So there was such a tough time, painful time, but it's been beautiful to watch how the Bonners and everyone has rallied around the memory of Sean and try to turn a really negative situation, a bad situation, into a positive by bringing some more awareness to mental health and the issues surrounding mental health. So there has been some positives there. And then as you move into the season, we went 34-6 in the regular season. And I think on the outside looking in, it looked like it was smooth sailing. But we had a lot of setbacks and adversity that year. It was a really, of all my years coaching, that may have been the most challenging year to coach was that 19 season. And we were just able to overcome. And I think when I think about that club, I think about resilience, because we had every reason to fold many, many, many times. And no matter what was going on the outside, when we trained, when we played, we were able to compartmentalize and get after it on the field. And I hope that's a lesson that, I know I'll take, and I know our coaches will take, and hopefully anyone who's a part of that team will, is the ability to just keep going, to put your nose down and try to overcome, because setbacks are inevitable in life, and you got to bounce back. And that group gave us a great example of that.
You've had a lot of wins in your career, Coach. Player, coach at Marietta, now head coach here at Denison. Where does this moment and this win stack up for you?
I don't really like to think of it like that. I tend to get joy in competition, and and I'm not just saying this. There's been many battles that I've been a part of, whether it's an inter-squad scrimmage or a loss. I can think of some losses that I really remember well and fondly in some weird way. But this would be the special thing for this moment for me was when I got on the bus after the game, and I got to check my phone, and there were so many text messages from former players, student managers, coaches, and so many of them had the word "we" in there. Like, we did this. I can't believe we won it. We finally did it. All those phrases were being used, and that to me embodied our program. We knew, years ago when we took this over, this was going to be a tough situation to turn around, and not one person could do it. Not one coach, not one player, nobody. It was going to take a collective group, and that's what we saw that day. And for so many people to be able to enjoy that success, that moment together, was something that I'll always remember and always cherish.
Same here, Coach. Same here.
Appreciate it.
Coach, I really appreciate you joining us here today, and I hope you enjoyed going down memory lane as much as we did. And we here at DSN wish you nothing but the best through the rest of the fall and hopefully into the spring as well. So thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Get us on the field in spring. Pull some strings. Pull some strings and make it happen.
I'll see what I can do. Everyone join.
Appreciate it.
You're so welcome, Coach. Everyone joining us at home, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on DSN Classic Conversation.